Greetings. This is our first nocturnal Tales of Hoffman. Welcome. And I'd like to talk about something I've had some recent experience with, and that is the... However, we won't be using that term, and I advise you not to use that term either. I will be using the Hoffman coin term, flirters, or the flirth, which is what they're talking about. So what we do here, we do not add energy, give energy, qualify, or anything, this whole idea, by calling it what they call it. So hopefully that will help. But if you've known people who've gotten sucked into this thing, which is very much like a cult, if you remember back, Charles Manson, for example, and Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter was, the family believed it. Very small group of people believed it. And now you have a very small group who is claiming to be larger than they are. They are claiming to be about 15% of the population, but I think they're trying to include Aboriginal people and Amazonian Indians and all that sort of thing, which I'm not sure fairly they can do. But anyway, see, once you do that, once you begin to accept the arguments and the positions, then you kind of put in a position of counter-arguing them, which is exactly where they want you. It's a baiting tactic, basically, and it's working very well for a lot of people. It's a bit of a side effect or of people spending way too much time online, basically going down a rabbit hole, and this is the flirth rabbit hole, big time. People go down there, they stay down there, they get brainwashed, indoctrinated with all this fake, phony, quasi-scientific. It's not even quasi, it's faux scientific. Any decent high school science student should be able to completely debunk all these points, but you see, you don't want to go into the points. That's not the thing. Now, I've met people like this. The first person I met that said that they believed that the beep was beep, I just said, so do I. And that was the end of the conversation. And they're like, really? You do? I was like, why shouldn't I? You do. See, they were expecting to get resistance. They were expecting to get an argument and get some validation out of this thing. Now, what I'd also add about human nature is that we see in our civilization, it's not very civil, in our civilization, that there are all kinds of groups that are in opposition to other groups. They're like Venn diagrams, overlapping groups, A simple group is, our political system in America. One party thinks they're right and the other party's wrong. And that party thinks they're right and the other party is wrong. So, or for example, another example, go out your door, go down the street, find a tall building with a thing on the top, and you're going to find a religious denomination of some sort. And if you go in there, they might be all friendly and doing good things and, talking about love and studying dogma and the Bible and things like that. But essentially, they're not talking about the fact that we are in this denomination, we're in this little group here because we're right and everyone else is wrong. But mainly that's what they believe, and that's why they exist separately. So you have all these groups that are saying, I'm right, you're wrong. And the internet is, I think, actually helping this a lot. Now, the thing about being right and being wrong with the flirters, the flirty movement is the easiest, quickest way for you to be right and have the most possible, highest number of people be wrong. Basically, everyone else on earth is wrong, uneducated, duped, stupid, whatever you want to call it, and you hold that beacon of truth. Now, when it comes to truths, for example, in the political arena, one group could say, well, we're compassionate, we're liberal, we like to help people. And the other people are like, well, people need to help themselves, and and we're going to take rather rigid positions on this. Of course, every situation is different. So if you get into a thing where it's like you want to teach someone to fish, or you want to give them fish, or which approach do you want to do? Well, every situation is different. I mean, if I get hit up by someone on the street, I have to judge that situation. It's like, if I give this person money, are they going to drink it, or is it that even any of my business? So you have to make a call. Being rigid simply doesn't help, in my opinion. So anyway, when it comes to other truths, think about the truths that we live by. Oh, I hold this truth, here, and it is me. I am pro-life, or I'm whatever you are. Well, a truth is like, the sun rose this morning and the sun set in the evening. That's true. It's absolutely true. Well, it's not absolutely true, because if you're in space, it's not true anymore. And you can take just about any truth, so-called truth, and rotate it slightly, and it's no longer true. All kinds of things are not really true. So it serves people in a psychological sense to get in some position, in some group, like the flirters, where they can feel right and everyone else is wrong. And if you choose to do that, well, you may already be doing that, I don't know. I do a little bit here around the edges, but I try to stay aware of it. And I watch out. And anyway, I hope that you've been amused by this talk.